everybody, cycling fans of the internet. We're back with some more videos about the bike racing going down in the Southeast. Amateur Cat 1, 2, 3 races and looking at some of the power requirements to do well in them. DNA boys have been on a roll. Truly blessed to be riding with some awesome people and just kind of putting things together in a really good way. So I want to look at a bunch of races that I've gone through. Also, definitely talk about some accusations that they popped up last year. They come back this year. You know, you win some races and people get a little upset or I guess jealous of amateur bike racers, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you know, if people want to take shots, that's fine. But I will definitely have a response to that because I understand that rumors are untrue things people say, but like the things that they're saying don't even make sense. The preface to this whole thing is 500 watts normalized for 10 minutes is not world tour power. So I'm going to stop you there. Collaborative coaching. This is my quick little plug for our coaching group. We will make you fast, and we're going to do it faster than other coaches can do it. Somebody had just called me last week and was asking about they want to do the races were going to be Intelligentsia and Road Nationals, and they said, hey, will my plan be customized around it? Everything that we do is custom to the athlete. Every athlete has different needs, goals, aspirations, fitness levels. You know, go back to my video of looking at the 3 tenets of how to get faster. Really compare yourself, compare yourself to your peers, and then make a plan based around your goal events. That's a really solid building block to start with, a foundation, and then, you know, the coaching thing kind of grows from there. So, all right, here we go. We're going into so I was told this thing was a circuit race, right? Or I think they might have called I think they call it a circuit race instead of a crit. And we roll up, and it's in this guy's farm, and you know, you're in Arkansas, rolling hills, but there are some climbs on this thing. And man, I did a lap of the course. I was like, oof, this thing is gonna hurt over and over and over again. 22 times that we're gonna climb this climb, and it's like 1:10 seconds to 1:30 seconds, depending on how hard you go. So it starts, you go around this 180 and it slowly starts climbing, and then you take another probably like not 180 but maybe, you know, 120-degree turn, and it pitches up, and you climb up and you go around, and there are these hecklers on the top from DNA Racing, and you got to go over the top, and then you go all the way down, and you're arrow tucking, trying to go fast around this curve into a headwind, and you're still probably going like 30-ish, high 20s, and then you got to get back on the gas, and you go around a bend, and it's like a little false flat, up, down, and you're back to the 180. So I think the laps were like 3 minutes maybe. It's like 1:10 just hammering. So, you know, Purvis and I and Andy, I'm trying to think who else was in that race, and we're trying to figure out what's our game plan. And I said, well, geez, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this. If people are trying to kill each other at the end of the race on this climb, you know, I'm 84 kilos, and actually I just came back from vacation. It's more than that, but we're not going to talk about that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that, so I'm going to try and get away early if I can. We're going to start this out hot and heavy, see what breaks out. Maybe people can bridge up halfway through. It's just a weird course. It's just hard, you know? So we hit this race, and man, first 10 minutes out the gate, it was, I mean, that was my peak. Normalized 504, average 366, not that high. But dang, it was just smoking. What? Ow. That just hurts looking at it. I mean, we're just crushing over this thing. So anyways, I ended up getting away, and you know, it was one of those things where a guy came with me and we just weren't going fast enough. So I took off and just kept hammering up it. And as you can see, going over and over and over again. And I knew that I had about 20 seconds for a while, and it was hard to get out of sight. But I knew if I just kept hammering through, and this is like the key, you know, get away, stay away. But then you got to have, Andy was on the top of the hill, and he said, I felt like you were going faster towards the end of times, because you got to save a little something, right? Like, you got to go all in to get away, but then you need to take it back a little bit, because you can't go all in for the whole time, and you need to start thinking about the sociology of the group behind you. If they're not catching up to you, it gets boring chasing somebody, right? So eventually somebody's going to pull the plug, and then you know, the guy next to him sees him pull the plug. He's like, nah, I'm done too. And then the next guy's like, well, these two guys aren't doing anything. I'm not going to do anything. And then before you know it, the group is just chilling. And it went from 20 seconds to like 40 seconds because I started hitting a couple laps. And then they're like, hey, man, you might catch the group. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to try and catch these dudes. And then maybe I can lead Johnny out to help him get second and have a little podium party because we've been throwing these this year, and it's been really fun. I don't think I've ever had as many podium parties. Definitely not this early in the season. It's really hard to do. It's been working out. So hopefully we can keep that rolling, and maybe, you know, it'd be awesome to try and get a result in a big race, but we'll see. So yeah, we ended up going 1-2. It was awesome. Super pumped about that. And then the next day we had a road race, and I wasn't really sure how we'd be feeling because it's a pretty tough ride. A lot of TSS in 2 hours and 17 minutes. And so kind of similar thing. Looking at the road race, Hunter was not going to ride much of it. So he's like, I'm going to just throttle this thing and string it out because there's a false flat that kind of goes into a climb. So he says, I'm going to throttle this and it's going to set a launching pad for you guys. And he did just that. And man, the attacks came hot and heavy early on. The group was reshuffling a bunch of times. It was a really hard race. Here is the beginning and the attacks that got laid down in the first 7 minutes to form the break. That's actually not even just the beginning. So here's where we're rolling, and let's see. Is we kind of roll. Yeah, so here's the first 20 minutes. So as you can see on the map, this is when we turn right, we come down, we go through all that junk, and this is when it's just getting hot and heavy, and finally it popped here because I waited till we come up on this false flat, and this is the first 17 minutes and normalizing 436, and just jam it, and got away, and Andrew Evans came up, and so I'm thinking, all right, this is a good dude to roll with. He's strong, he's time trialist, he, you know, will ride, and, you know, you can see the watts there, man. We were doing sweet spot, just keeping it rolling. It was one of those times where I was trying to think, geez, what do we both have the next day? I don't necessarily know what I have on the top end, and I could sprint with him, though, I felt like. So, you know, I guess I'll wait, although, man, you miss shift or something goes wrong in the sprint. Like, just things can, I don't know. I hate leaving it till that point. So I was trying to think on the course, all right, when can I make a move? And sometimes the door opens earlier than you want it to, but we started going up that backside climb. There's that little steep pitch right here. I pulled off, and he pulled. He kind of was pulling off, and like he just didn't look like he had some oomph to him right there. And I figured, you know, I'm just going to hit the gas a little bit. I didn't attack necessarily, but just went, you know, you just go faster, right? Just test people out, see what they think, see how they feel, how they react. And it just like opened up a bike length, and I kind of throttled it a little bit more. And then I was like, I'm going to go all in right now. And I just gassed it, and I was gone. So I was like, all right, well, this is now got to hold everybody off. You know, people were probably chasing, attacking. I had heard afterwards people were getting frustrated that, you know, my guys in the back are policing everything. They're, you know, guys trying to attack, bridge up, they hop on the wheel. People don't want to give them a free ride, so then they get upset and, you know, doing their jobs, man, making it possible for me to stay away. And I appreciate my teammates doing that. And we didn't get a podium party that day, but it was good. We won and finished a good week in Arkansas. And yeah, man, so let me look at this real quick. This is something that we should look at. 500 watts normalized, okay? Normalized. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt. There was a text message sent to somebody that said, man, I saw this guy posted his numbers on Strava and then he deleted it afterwards. The ride's still there. If the numbers that he posted in his title are true, that's better than Pro Tour riders over the past 10 years. I had posted that I did 500 watts normalized for 10 minutes, as you saw in that file. And let's do the math here. 500 watts divided by, so this is normalized. So I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. This isn't even the way the math should be done. 500 watts divided by 84 kilos is 5.95 watts per kilogram for 10 minutes. Hey man, 10 minutes. Unfortunately, world class are doing 6.4. Domestic pros are doing 5.8, okay? And 10 minutes is like a strong suit of mine. That's normalized watts. Look at actual watts. It was 366, I believe. Peak 10 minutes, 366 watts. Unfortunately, I'm not that good, right? Let me get this curve up here. So as everybody knows, I'm not a sprinter. I'm good at short stuff, 5 to 10 minutes. That was from that road race. And I'm a Cat 1. This is not a diss at the people that I went and raced, right? It's not like I rolled up to Redlands and like podium partied at Redlands or went to a big race and just went and crushed it. Like we rolled up to Arkansas and we won pretty dominantly. But that's what we've been doing because we race as a team. We race smart. The wattage, man, is not crazy. It's just that I know how to use it at the right times and know how to play the game of bike racing. It's not just who can pedal the hardest. And the guys who try to just pedal the hardest and win races usually don't. So I understand that people get upset when they lose, but slinging accusations like that, it's disappointing. Actually, look beyond my Strava titles, man. See how much I ride and see how much hard work I put into this and see how much I use the coaching skills that we have on myself. We have about 50 athletes now, and people are constantly hitting power PRs, upgrading, getting awesome results, and we use those same tools on ourselves. And, I talk to Jason and Patrick all the time about my training, and it's the work that we put in. And so I'm happy to address this. I hope that I win a big race so I can get drug tested so that I can post that up for people that have any doubts about that. But we've been doing this for over 10 years, and it's just a ton of biking that's gone into making me a diesel engine. So that's my address to doping. Now, on to the next race. Come back midweek, really looking to get some efforts in. These are tough. Sweet spot, the up, down, the low sweet spot, high VO2 max. Not my favorite. Definitely need to do them more often. Hitting the sweet spot for the most part. They're difficult, but they're really good, and they help you to train your body to go hard and go harder and continually. It's actually not the VO2 max that's the hard part. It's falling back into the sweet spot right after. So you can go really hard, but then keeping a high power for a longer amount of time I find to be very difficult. Oh, May 5th. Yeah, so the May races, my parents came to town and we had a great weekend, and basically 2 crits, well, a crit and a circuit race. First day it rained, so there's not much to look in this file. It was a crit, 4 corners with a little hill on it. We had Johnny Purvis there and Patrick, and it was wet, so we said, let's hit it hard early on, see what we can shake out. I went off the road on the 3rd lap. Now I'm riding these 25s in the rear, and I feel like all big and tough because I used to ride 23s all the time, and you're just all over the place. And I was hitting this corner pretty well, and then I hit it one time, and it, back slides out, and you correct it, and the bike just stays upright, and I go off the road through, there was 4 trees there, through 2 trees, luckily didn't hit one, banged her right through this little gravel patch, up over this lady's driveway and back onto the course, and I couldn't believe that just happened. I was in a break with 2 guys, Kyle Teasler and somebody else from Nashville local, and so I, railed it for a lap, caught back up to them, and the guy from Nashville local was having trouble in the corners, so Kyle and I were going back and forth, and then Johnny came up to us. The 3 of us, and we're riding, and we thought that we had heard Patrick was coming up. So we slow up, and Patrick wasn't coming up. Somebody was trying to tell us that Patrick was like back in the group. There was miscommunication. So we almost messed that up and then hit the gas. The 3 of us stayed away. Sorry, Kyle. We had to start attacking him, and we went 1-2. So Purvis, man, I love racing with you. You're intuitive, you're smart, you race hard, aggressive is awesome. And then we went to a circuit race, and we did it again, where there's a cool video that I posted on Instagram. Thank you, Brandon Thornton, for the information on it. Just kept trying to draw people out. It's a big field. It's a wide open course. Kept just hitting it hard. And eventually I got away. And shout out to this guy from Fraser. He's 18. He TT'd up to me. I was like, okay, this kid's ready to roll. And strong rider, Sergi, but I hope he stays in cycling for his benefit because he's going to be a really strong rider, and that's exciting to see. Johnny came up, and Jason Chatham, and definitely wanted to dump Chatham. Don't want to have him at the sprint, and he's, you know, cagey and can make some good moves. So eventually we started attacking him, and the guy in Fraser I knew, he's like, man, I want to get on the podium, you know, and I was like, well, we're going to try and make sure that it's a 1-2 though. So Johnny pulled through, and the other two guys looked at each other when Chatham was still with us, and Johnny was just like riding and looked back, and there was like a gap, two bike lanes, and I'm like, just go. I hope he just goes. And, you know, Johnny's smart, so he hits the gas, goes up over this roller. These guys start chasing, allows me to sit on, and Johnny's gone. He's just hammering on that Garno Genix A1 bike, just super aero, out of sight in almost no time. And so then we dropped Chatham, me and this kid ride, and then I said, hey man, you know, last lap and a half, it's on him. Just I wanted to make sure that we stayed away because we could see people still behind us chasing. But at the end, I wanted to make sure that I could take him at the line, and he was gracious about it, and he, you know, didn't really sprint me at the end. But I went all out just to make sure there was no funny business. So we went 1-2. It was awesome. Came back, did a bunch of riding, and then I went on a rest week. And I would redo this rest week. So a lot of times, if I'm going to be gone for 5 days, I don't mind taking 5 days off the bike. You're obviously going to come back a little stale. I would crush myself. So I went, you know, 2 hard rides before I went. 400 TSS, you go into vacation. Man, I woke up on Thursday like really, really tired. I went to a yoga class, and I felt like it was hard. So I'm like, man, I need to rest more. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I rested, but then you come back and you feel just like dookie. So I think I'm kind of over crushing myself before a rest week. What I think I would have done was, because I was 0.69 intensity factor, that's low. You know, for that Tuesday ride, I had nothing. I just rode a bunch. I mean, that's not great TSS for that amount of time being outside. I should have rested this day, gone big this day. It would have been a better, more quality ride. And then take Wednesday, Thursday off, do some openers on an exercise bike or something. You know, do something strenuous, because there is data that shows one strenuous activity midweek helps to keep you fresher than just taking days off. And I personally think days off are important. And then I could go Saturday, Sunday off, or I could go Saturday and then get on a bike and do openers again on Sunday. And then I come back Monday feeling less stale. So I think the crushing myself wasn't a good idea. I don't think I'll do that again. I would take that day off, do something Tuesday. I think it would have just kept me more motivated to do some things. So I did a couple rest week revamp. That's my comeback ride. Just come back and ride. Just go do some hard efforts. Usually this vacation, it's been a long stretch of bike racing that I kind of just ate whatever I wanted to eat. I'm definitely a couple kilos heavier, and that's okay though. It's mental strength. So here we are, moving on. Looking forward to some races back towards Nashville this weekend. And now that I live in Memphis, I don't have many more Nashville weekends left, so I'm going to try and take advantage of this one. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit me up with questions. If you want to get faster, let me know. Would love to make you faster, hit your goals. If you're out riding, if you're riding at least 8 hours a week, we can make you faster. That's, you know, on the low end for sure. But if you're just trying to, there's a ton of crits down here. You're trying to do a bunch of crits, get faster, get smarter. Let's link up and do this. Thanks for watching.